you also, the green light's on, there we go, about some changes that we're bringing to the missions. And so missions committees met, and we've, as we announced earlier, we were taking 10% off of what's given to the general fund here in the plate as it's passed and as you give. And so with that 10%, what we've done is we've decided to support 6 main ministries with that 10%. Those are the Better Way Food Co-op that's here in town, serves a lot of people. Very, very beneficial to the community. Also, Hanging Rock and Mission Crossfire, Purdue Campus Christian House, and IDES, that's the International Disaster Emergency Services. And right now, I don't know if you follow them on Facebook, but IDES is headed to Nashville to help out with the storm damage. And so that they're doing a great work there from right here in Noblesville. The other one is Zimbabwe Outreach Ministries, which you're seeing these pictures right now of the work being done on the basketball court that we raise money for. And the other one is Amazima. So those 6 basic ministries are what we're going to fund with that 10% that we're taking off the top of the general fund giving. All right. As you looking at these pictures, you can see they're moving right along. Mark let me know that this work they're doing with labor that they hire from the church there in Zimbabwe, or in Chinoy, that they have set up called Grace Christian Church. And that's where Mark preaches. It's a church they started when they went over there. The men that are doing this work are skilled labor in their churches, or in their church. But remember, Zimbabwe has 90% unemployment. And so not only are we able to help get Zimbabwe a really good basketball court to use in our ministry, but we're also putting to work those in the church over there as they serve. So that's wonderful. So that's how we're doing the 10% that we're taking off top. 80% of the 10% is going to go to these missions that I mentioned. 20% of that's going to be kept back as a fund to help those in our congregation that may want to go on a mission trip every year. Okay, so if you got in your heart, God's leading you to go and serve in one of our missions, you know, we want you to go. We want to help you go. So that money's going to be set aside for that. Also, it's going to be set aside for these missions that might have an emergency come up and need a little extra to get them through something. And so be praying for how you can give, because every dollar you give, a portion of that goes to help all of these missions. And then a couple other things I wanted to mention. So an example, let me just give you real quick. I'd like to have slides for you, but I'm just not that technically savvy. So this is how it works. If you have the plate passed in front of you and you put $10 in that plate, well, $1 of that's going to go to this mission fund. And that's going to go help these 6 missions. But I understand that some of you have been in the habit of giving as the plate comes, and also giving with a check or money designated to a certain mission. And if you're doing that, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. Just know that money you give in the plate that's not designated, we're still going to take 10% off the top of that, and we're going to put it in this missions fund. Okay? So a lot of those ministries and missions that may be on that wall out there that aren't on this list of 6 doesn't mean they're not going to get supported, because people are still passionate about those certain missions. And so we just want you to know where this 10% is going to go and how it's being calculated and how it's being distributed. If you're interested in learning more, we are going to have a missions team meeting tomorrow night at 6:30 down the hallway here in one of the classrooms, so we'd love to have you. And then on top of all this, I know there's a lot of jumping around, but just remember that on top of all this, the church has already been committed to giving monthly to Helping Hands and Hope Springs. So that hasn't changed. That is all still in there every month. We're supporting those 2 great organizations working in this community to help out. Just like the Better Way Food Co-op, it's very, very important in our community that we continue to fund these other organizations. So I think that's about it. Are you going to pray for the meal when we're all done? Okay. All right. Well, then I'll turn this back over to the worship team. If you have any questions, I'm going to be here for the meal. I'd be glad to answer anything that you might have. I know the rest of the missions team, if you look around, you'll find some of them in here, and we'd be glad to answer any questions you have and help you out there. Thank you.